Agave is a genus of around 200 spiky, fleshy-leaved succulents, forming rosettes, often with spines along the margins and tip of the leaves. They're part of the Asparaceae family, which also includes yuccas, hostas, Dracaena, and Chlorophytum, as well as the asparagus. They're native to the arid and semi-arid regions of America, particularly Mexico and the Caribbean. The name agave comes from the Greek word for noble, probably due to the tall flower spikes that many agaves produce, and they're commonly known as the American aloe, which, although there are similarities in appearance, are not part of the same plant family. Agaves are monocarpic, meaning that they only flower once in their life cycle before dying, although they can live for many years and reach a great size before this happens. And many varieties will produce several pups from the base of the plant, particularly if grown in pots. Agaves grow best in full sun and are very drought tolerant. Although they're not normally considered hardy, there are several varieties of agave which can survive winter outdoors in the UK, with some surviving very low temperatures. However, the main factor that will determine whether they survive a UK winter outdoors often isn't the temperature, but how dry you're able to keep them. If grown in pots, they can be moved into an unheated greenhouse, conservatory, or shed. However, if they're in the ground, they should be planted in a raised bed or sloping bed so that the rainwater runs away from the plant rapidly and prevents the soil becoming damp. A makeshift shelter can be created to help keep them dry, such as by attaching a clear plastic roof to 4 wooden stakes, leaving the sides clear to allow airflow. Good drainage is also very important for making sure agaves remain dry throughout winter. Horticultural grit can be added to the potting mix, ideally with some perlite in the ratio 50 to 25 to 25, to create a free draining mix and do not water throughout the winter months. There can be huge variability between individual plants, with reports from some UK growers of more success growing varieties not normally considered particularly hardy than with other varieties that might be expected to thrive in the UK. So if you are new to growing agaves outdoors, you might prefer to play it safe for the first couple of years as your plant gets bigger and stronger and produces pups which you can keep as backups if you do lose your main plant. But as a rough guide, here are a few varieties of agave which are generally considered to be hardy in the UK if kept dry. Agave Montana is commonly known as the mountain agave, as it grows in the mountainous regions of Mexico, where it can often get exposed to both cold and damp conditions. It's believed to be able to survive down to at least -10 degrees C, and is often therefore the first choice for growing outdoors in the UK. It can grow up to around 1.5 meters in height and spread, although it is slow growing. Agave Filifera is a compact, medium-sized agave with narrow, pointed leaves, and over time will develop a short, woody trunk. It is commonly known as the thread agave due to the white fibres that form at the edge of its leaves. Its flower spike can reach an impressive 2.5 meters in height. It's considered hardy down to around -8 degrees C, although there are reports of them surviving temperatures as low as -14 degrees C. Agave Lophantha is commonly known as the thorncrest century plant and is a smaller variety, growing to around 2 to 3 feet in height and spread. It has dark green leaves and a centre stripe down the middle, although there are other varieties with different variegation. It is considered to be hardy down to around -10 degrees C and is naturalized in the Mediterranean. Agave Salmiana is also known as the green maguey and has been naturalized in South Africa, Italy, Spain, and the Canary Islands. It's one of the largest varieties of agave which can be grown in the UK, growing to 3 or more meters across and nearly as tall. Leaves are grey-green with spines along the edges. It should withstand temperatures down to -8 degrees C. Agave Paryi, or Parry's agave, is a grey-green variety with a distinctive spine at the tip, usually dark brown or black, but it can be lighter in colour. It is a smaller agave variety, growing to 70 centimetres in diameter, and it's a compact form which makes a lovely contrast when grown with other agaves. It can withstand temperatures down to -10 degrees C. Agave Sisalana is also known as the sisal and is used in making rope and twine due to the stiff fibres it produces. Rigid grey-green leaves can grow between 2 to 6 foot long, with spines along the edges and a dark brown tip. The flower spike reaches up to 6 metres tall. It's been naturalised in several countries and is considered invasive in South Africa. Grown in the UK with adequate protection, it can take lows of -5 degrees C. Agave Ovatifolia is commonly known as the whale's tongue agave. The leaves are blue-grey in colour, with wide, elliptical to oval shape, which can be 20 to 24 centimetres wide, and edged in light brown spines. The agave can grow to 1.5 metres tall and 2 metres wide. It can tolerate heavy frosts, and the iced heart variety can even tolerate -15 degrees C. Agave Americana Marginata, or Variegata, is also known as the century plant. The striking yellow margins on this agave make it a very architectural plant, and as it grows the leaves twist, making it very recognisable. It can tolerate temperatures down to -8 degrees C. The white variety, Agave Americana Mediopicta Alba, can survive to -5 degrees C. Agave Franzosinii is likely to be another variety of Agave Americana, known as the blue agave. It is a majestic blue-grey agave with spiny-edged leaves which arch gracefully. It's a slow-growing plant but can reach over 2 metres tall and 3 metres wide. It's believed to be able to withstand temperatures of at least -5 degrees C. Agave Difformis is an attractive agave that has long green leaves with a silvery green stripe down the middle, which tend to wave, making them appear deformed as the name suggests. It can grow 18 inches tall and 2 foot wide, and is a clump-forming variety of agave closely related to the Lophantha. It can reportedly take temperatures down to -9 degrees C. Agave Nigra is commonly known as the shark skin agave and is a smaller agave, growing to 60 centimetres in diameter. Agave Nigra is a hybrid between Agave scabra and Agave Victoria Reginae, both of which can be grown in warmer areas of the UK. If grown in containers, it will need a large pot to develop its full potential, and should tolerate temperatures of -5 degrees C to -9 degrees C. Agave Gemini flora is also known as the twin-flowered agave, due to the fact that when it flowers, it produces its flowers in pairs. Smooth-edged leaves are much narrower than many other agave varieties, ending in a sharp tip. The leaves are edged with fine thread-like filaments and can potentially irritate skin. It's thought to be hardy down to around -5 degrees C. Agave Stricta, or the hedgehog agave, can grow 70 centimetres in height and is a clump-forming agave which unusually can flower many times before it dies. The long-toothed leaves are tipped with a sharp spine and can become reddish in colour during the summer months. Although not the hardiest variety here, it's thought to withstand temperatures of -4 degrees C, with some reports of it surviving much colder temperatures. Although this is not an exhaustive list and there are other varieties of agave which are considered hardy in the UK, hopefully some of the plants I've talked about here have inspired you if you're planning to grow agaves outdoors. Of course, UK winters can be very unpredictable at times, which is always the challenge of growing tropical plants. But with the right care and the right plants, agaves can be grown outdoors in the UK. If you're enjoying the content of Freya's Tropical Garden, then please help this channel grow by subscribing. Every new subscriber is appreciated, and by turning on notifications to my videos, you can also make sure that you don't miss any episodes in future. You can also follow me on social media, where I'll release links to my latest videos, as well as share my flower of the day. You can follow me on X, Instagram, Threads, Facebook, or join my Facebook group to engage in discussions and share your own photos. Freya's Tropical Garden webpage also has links to my videos and helpful advice. And now, in order to support the continued growth of this channel, there is an option of becoming a member, which will give you access to a private Facebook group where I'll be running monthly competitions exclusively for members, as well as additional exclusive content. And as always, I welcome your feedback in the comments below.